Now, y'all already know what time it is. It is time for the mess. So let's get into it. What's going on, you guys? It's be your boy Scotty by Nature TV, and we're here for a brand new episode of Yes for the Mess. Okay, and we are here to talk about Stevie J and Stevie J only. But before we get into Stevie J, let's get into some promotional things that's coming up on the Scotty by Nature TV brand. The Whether You Like It or Not panel will be returning on May the 2nd, and it will star myself, Terrence, Josiah, Really B, Sakina, and Brandy. We will be covering the Real Housewives of Atlanta and Basketball Wives. The Influence with myself and Reggie, it should be coming out in mid-April. We should start filming the season next week or the week after. And on top of that, it will be running for 10 weeks, so be prepared for that. Also, Roaster Review has already started this past Wednesday with myself, Terrence, and Josiah. Okay, we will be discussing Candy and the Gang, and Love and Mary Transville. It will be every Wednesday. It will be on all three of our channels as a rotating panel. So be sure to subscribe to all three of us so you can get your weekly fix of roast and review. Boys Night Out is back. We just aired our getaway vlog. Well, as I filmed this tonight, but as you watch this yesterday, and it's already out. So if you have not seen the getaway vlog, please tune in now so you can see it. We will be back for an official episode in 2 weeks. March the 26th will be our original day back. Our official day back, okay? And not to mention, I have another 10-week show called Who Was Wrong. I have 10 people on my list. I need 2 more people to respond. But if they're not able to do it, then I already have my 2 replacements already, and I should start filming that next week as well. Okay, so those are the things that I have coming up on my channel. Now it's time for us to talk about Stevie J. Okay, and he's a creep. Everybody knows that he's a creep. He's been a creep. So apparently, during an interview with a chick named Leah A. Henry, Stevie J apparently was receiving fellatio during a FaceTime interview. Now, I actually have the video, and I have an article from TMZ too, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the article first, and then I'm going to play the video. So let's get into the article. So the article says that Stevie J was apparently receiving oral during a FaceTime interview with the reporter, and while the act itself might be shocking, what's wilder is the fact that she soldiered on. The journalist's name is Leah A. Henry, and she featured the Love and Hip Hop star, Bad Boy producer, during an appearance on her show, Leah's Lemonade, where she was discussing a new special of his and asking a lot of good questions, obviously taking it seriously. However, it became clear quickly that SJ, Stevie J himself, wasn't nearly in the same headspace as her. Not only was he shirtless and lying in bed, but he seemed to have company. At one point, after a mysterious hand enters Stevie's frame, Henry flats out asks, "What the heck is going on over there?" But he's coy about it, but he never directly cops to being on the receiving end of a sex act. But that definitely seems to be what's happening here. Okay, so apparently Leah has her own side of the story as well, and we're going to get into that after this video. So here is the video.
Yeah.
Honestly, you addressed everything. I really appreciate the fact that you decided to do that. So in the very beginning, speaking of reality TV, one of the things that stuck out to me is when you said that I was real on Love and Hip Hop because of the fact that I'm gonna be me at 100 all the time. And you talked about in the first couple of scenes, the first few years that you were walking because you didn't have a car.
How's this right here?
Yep, Stevie.
You see this body right here?
Hold on, wait. It's a hand right there. Hold on. One of the things, you come from a big family. You have a lot of siblings, and you also have the same amount of kids that you had. Your father. One of the things you talked about is your early upbringing, and you talked about the fact that your dad was a gospel singer. So you felt like he was definitely like supportive of you.
Yeah, absolutely.
From under Diddy's camp, under Bad Boy, like recently in the media talking about how they felt like they got the short end of the stick. And you said,
yeah, but that's their problem.
All right, now, obviously, after that came out, Leah has some things to say on her own. Now, Henry, for her part, jokes with Stevie about it, but she doesn't seem to let it faze her, insisting that they carry on. She did exactly that, continuing to ask fairly serious questions to which Stevie responded, all while other things look to be happening in the background. For starters, Stevie himself is obviously catching backlash over this, with many calling his stunt super disrespectful and flat out nutty. If what seems to be going down actually is, then yeah, that's more than a fair characterization. So, Leah went on Twitter saying all these journalism majors, in parentheses, sarcasm, are telling me how to conduct interviews. I went to one of the top journalism schools in the country. I know how to conduct a professional interview. I'll address this Stevie J interview on my podcast because some of y'all make me sick. On the other hand, Henry herself is getting criticism as well, with some wondering why she didn't just cut the interview short as soon as she suspected that he was giving fellatio. And a good amount of people are calling her unprofessional for the way that she handled it. She hasn't taken kindly to that, defending herself on social media, but not only explaining why she carried on for as long as she did, other than to say she'll be addressing it at length on her podcast and encouraging folks to watch the entire thing before passing judgment. It also seems like some of the comments she's getting are borderline or bordering on harassment, perhaps even gaslighting or blaming this whole thing on her, which is a shame. To cap this all off, we'll say this: she definitely got some compelling content here, and Stevie's got more publicity than he may know what to do with after this, what he may not know what to do with after this. Okay, so I think she told her side of the story, and I think they have some audio here, so I'm finna play it for you guys. So here we go.
So there's like two sides of viral, right? Like it's the side where you get publicity, people start to learn more about you and your brand. And then there's like the dark side of going viral, which is when people be sick. Like if you coming on my stories to try to figure out what the fuck I'm talking about, please stop being sick. Y'all are weird. Like I want you to watch the full video before you ask me or talk about my conduct in any clip you've seen on the internet. Because some of y'all are sick and it's really nasty. I'll be addressing this on my podcast, so y'all hoes better listen.
Okay, and that's what she said. Oops, I'm sorry. And that's what she said in the video, saying that she was going to address it on her podcast and all of that stuff. Now, this is what I got to say. This is my opinion on this situation. I feel like Stevie J is a complete jackass, and I feel like he's a complete creep for what he did. And very unprofessional. And she got a lot of courage. She got a whole lot of, what is it? She got a whole lot of decency. She got a whole lot of patience. Because me, personally, I would have ended the interview, period. I would have ended that interview point blank, period. And she can say whatever she wants about how we need to watch the entire thing. Maybe so, but we saw what we saw. And what we saw is a man disrespecting you while you're being serious and while you're interviewing him, doing what you're supposed to do. See, you did your job in the situation. You really didn't do nothing wrong. So anybody who's blaming you for the situation is really off base here because you didn't do anything wrong in this situation. The only person that did something effed up is Stevie J. He's the one who did that, getting fellatio all during the interview, Who does that? I ain't never seen nothing like that go down before in my 33 years of living. In my 33 years of living, and all these years watching interviews, doing videos, all of this type of stuff, I have never in my life seen somebody go to the lengths as Stevie J did to get a moment. Because I feel like that's what he did. First off, you should have known something was wrong when he showed up to the interview with no damn shirt on. Who shows up to the interview with no shirt on? Now, when me and Jamar do interviews, there are some days where I'm dressed down, but you really can't tell that I'm dressed down. I may come to the interview with a white beater on, but I have on a jacket over it and I have on a hat or something. You wouldn't even know that I'm dressed down. But I try to look as decent as I possibly can for an interview. This man showed up with no shirt on. So you already know what time he was on. And not only did he show up without a shirt on, he's so bored with the interview that he decides to go get some random hussy and ask her to give him fellatio while he doing the interview. It's crazy. He was out of line and disrespectful. And ain't no borderline disrespect either. He was disrespectful to you. Very much so. Very disrespectful to you. And I don't see how the hell you went on with the interview, girl. I don't see how you went along with that. But I'm not blaming you for it though. Like, I'm not dragging you for it at all because you did what you had to do. You doing your job. So you did what you were supposed to do. So I'm not mad at you for that at all. But I'm more so mad at him for putting you in a compromising position, if you ask me. That's what I'm really pissed off about. So yeah, he disrespected you to the highest degree by doing that interview like that with no shirt on and getting fellatio from some random woman that's probably not his wife. But I do hate the backlash that she's getting. I don't see how anybody can call her unprofessional because I don't think she was being unprofessional at all. If anything, she was being way too professional to me because she kept it going, even though all that weird shit was going on in the background. She still kept the interview going. So I don't see why anybody would call her unprofessional because she's not. She did what she was supposed to do. She did her job. And I don't see absolutely anything wrong with that at all. So y'all can lay off sis because sis didn't do nothing wrong. The only person that did something wrong was Stevie J. That's how I feel. He's the only one who did something wrong. He's the only one who did something effed up. He had no business going on nobody's interview like that. No business at all doing that. But that's really it. That's really all I got to say about it, y'all. Be sure to like, rate, comment, subscribe, share this video. Click on the notification bell so you could be notified when the video drops and all that good stuff. If you want to follow me on any form of social media, my Twitter and my Instagram will be at the bottom in the description box. I do follow back on Instagram. So if you guys want me to follow you back, all you got to do is hit me up in the DMs with the hashtag Message Team Scotty, and it will let me know that you're a part of the team. And I will be following you back. With that being said, you guys, your boys out of here. Until my next video, I'll holler at you later. Peace out.